Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going into part 2 of today's episode of Roleplay Far Verona. So I want to give you a little cinematic interlude before we do the Booker talks to the team and makes plans section of the game. So we fade back in on pretty much like your classic, highly polluted, cyberpunk-looking like a mega city. It is an enormous city of glowing lights and of smog. Everyone in this part of the city is wearing a pressure mask or a gas mask of some kind, and we can see them kind of coming and going through the crowded streets. Everybody's jammed together. Glowing lights from above illuminate them. We can barely see the sky through all the fog. Maybe there's some distant and bright stars, but nothing that we can see. So we follow the crowd. We get this establishing shot of the crowd, and we pan slowly across to there's a gathering of some kind. There's a little like square, and we hear shouting and cheering. There's the sound of bells being rung, and it's initially kind of hard to tell the tenor of the crowd. There's a tense excitement in the sound of everyone's shouting. And we see there's a platform. There's a metal kind of scaffolding platform that's been erected, and on it there are two holographic displays in the back behind the group of people that are clustered on top of it. One of them is a picture of a military general or something, and it's in a very sort of propaganda looking like style. Like the general is like looking into the distance. There's some fire flickering behind him, and it's a repeating hologram. So he like looks slightly at the crowd, nods solemnly, and then goes back to looking off into the distance. The other display is showing a list, and all of this is all of the visual language that we see is like Chinese characters, and so there's like a long list, and then it's hard to say what it's a list of, but we can see this list, and it's all written in like acerbic, like red, and we see someone get dragged up onto this little stage where the crowd is all standing, and this is the only person who doesn't have a mask on. He's wearing filthy but like nice looking clothes, but it looks like he's got blood on them. He's got blood on his face. He looks injured, and he's got a collar around his neck, and he's being dragged up by this pole on it. And he's shouting in English. He's shouting like, "No, please, like, have mercy! I'm one of you. I've lived here my whole life." And he's begging for his life as this group comes up, and there's him, and there's a couple of other people that drag him up onto the stage, and someone is giving a speech, and we don't understand, we don't get like what it is. If we were to examine the language, it's a mix of like Mandarin with a bunch of like Korean and Japanese loanwords thrown in, some Hindi probably as well. And he seems to be reading a list of this person's crimes, the things this person is accused of, and when he finishes, so he everybody cheers because this is a sentencing, and he takes a step back, and this guy gets pulled forward and pushed to his knees, and someone comes up behind him, and over his head, his voice is muffled. Over his head, they pull an enormous like hood in the shape of like a swan. It's like the head of a swan, and they put it over him, and then somebody starts dousing him in some kind of like viscous fluid, and he starts to scream because he's like, "What's happening? What are you doing?" Everybody takes like a step back, and the person who is reading the charges takes out a lighter, and he flicks it, and the crowd screams like, "Yay!" Everybody's really excited, and he throws the lighter on this guy, and the dude bursts into flames. And everyone in the crowd stands solemnly with a hand over their heart, and they watch this person burn to death on the metal scaffolding. And when his body finally gives out and he tumbles forward, the fiery mass of burning flesh hits the deck with a clang. And on that sound, we snap back to the room where all of you are gathered. Booker has the meeting brief, and we can see the hologram of this planet kind of floating in the center of the table. So, Booker, what do you take it away?
I don't know if I got the information from you. I tried to take down a couple of the notes.
It's in chat in Roll20, just the bottom left. You should see it there. A little mission brief.
Yep. All right. So we're all around in the conference room with the hologram.
Yeah, it's showing a display of it's a Valen, like a Valen map, a galactic map. You see the little House Vela logo kind of floating in the space, but it's a map of Honglu, of the planet, kind of hovering here.
So, sure you're all curious what our next assignment is.
Just read the room, just to confirm.
Victor has us going to Honglu. And I know some of you guys might be aware there's some civil unrest, we'll call it there. Our mission is a little different than what we were just doing, trying to keep a low profile, so it's just going to be us. No other complement of soldiers required on this one.
And he looks pointedly like at Riley just to see if there's any reaction there. And then continues.
Basically just a kidnapping, a suspected kidnapping. Seeker Pixis Erickson Mohammed has been kidnapped by terrorists, is what they're calling them. Mother-in-law to be has reported she received a message, tracked him back to Honglu, and apparently there's a ransom in demand. So as you can imagine, not attracting undue attention would be of utmost importance, which means we need to be sharp. I don't want any problems on this one. I don't want anyone fighting. I don't want any insults. And he's just like kind of to loosen the air a little bit. He's just like looks at Riley, looks at Jason, especially this guy.
Smirk a bit.
Any questions? That's pretty much all I have. We're going to figure it out as we go and communicate as necessary. And those are our orders.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions for me about like the planet or any of those things, we can take a second to kind of do like lore fill in if there's anything you want to know. I can also get you to roll if there's anything like tactical you want to try to figure out.
Mm-hmm. And also, yeah, are we aware? It's just we don't know any more than just there was a kidnapping. We have to find out, right? Like, kind of.
Yeah. You were just told that like this guy's gone missing. I can tell you this though, that like kidnappings are fairly, unfortunately, fairly common of nobles. Rich nobles get kidnapped a lot and then ransomed for money and then given back to their families. It's a thing that happens. Most noble houses have like an amount of money to do this, but if they think that you can get them back alive without having to pay anybody, then they'll do that.
Yeah.
I have a question. So this planet is primarily made up of the commoners who were left behind after like House Sickness was dismantled, correct?
Yeah, make a knowledge roll with intelligence. We'll see what you know. Okay, got an 8. Yeah. So you would know based on your sort of fictional positioning. It was like a factory world for House Cygnus. And they made synths here. Like it used to be full of synth factories. So they would harvest biomass, they would make people, and then they would send them off to other worlds for programming and protocols. And yeah, it used to belong to House Cygnus. It's still technically part of the Empire, but a new government has not been established here yet. And there's been some recent unrest, as Booker mentioned. There was a revolt, and the planet basically is like, we're our own government, so fuck off, the Empire.
Okay.
Yeah, they declared their independence like 2 years ago.
Okay. So my question, since now I know that what my character knows in comparison to what I know,
sure, yeah, of course.
I'll pose my question to Greaves and ask: are you intending to go in undercover?
If you're asking whether or not we're going to go down waving the House Crux flag, no, that won't be what we're doing. Keeping a low profile, not letting them know who we are. It'd be very easy for you, Riley.
Oh, yeah. Those are my people. I was more concerned for you.
Don't worry about me. Anyone else have any concerns?
Planning on changing your duds for the occasion?
My duds?
Your getup?
No, I thought I'd go in full uniform. Would that be a problem, do you think?
No, sir.
That's a joke, Riley.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes I can't tell.
I get that a lot. Not going to
I
be
have
a
a question.
problem. I don't anticipate a problem. Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
No. That was for Adam. Go on, carry on. Sorry. Sorry, Max.
Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
Question for Adam. Can I do? Because Jason's not particularly a kind of like socialite, but his family is. I like them to. They're well to do in Fornax. Would it be a knowledge roll to see if I know anything about the two noble families involved in the kidnapping, the House Vela and the House Pice? Is it no or is it connect?
It would be no, because connect would be to like to find someone who's a member of those houses.
Okay, and it's still intelligence based, yeah, because it's just what I know, what I've heard.
Yeah, it's exactly it's knowledge.
Okay,
in this
cool. I know nothing. too busy playing robot.
Oh god, this is like asking somebody from America, like, where's Saskatoon on a map? Yeah, no. So you remember House Vela is a noble house. House Pixis is also a noble house.
Yep. At which point, okay, yeah. So that stops me from talking about that kind of subject. I guess I'd look at Greaves. Jason would look at Greaves and say, "Yeah, Greaves. One thing I wanted to talk about. I was going to do it on the way down there, but it looks like we're pretty much alone here. I'm a pilot, right? That's what I do. I fly ships. Give me anything with an engine. I can fly it. I can drive it. I can do whatever." Back on that last mission, that synth, I saw it doing something and I wanted to help, but obviously I got in the way. Like, what do you want me to do? If we get into another situation like that, what do you want?
I want you to trust me and my orders. I want you to understand that I'm there to get a job done, and so are you.
Yep.
I understand your skill set, but I also know you're more than the sum of your parts.
Well, I do trust you. Just, if you want me to hang back, you want me to just tell me, and I'll just try and stay out of the way. I trust your instincts in those kind of situations. Just wanted to make that clear.
I think nothing more of it. I just need to know I can rely on mine and my crew.
Oh, you can rely on me.
All right, well then consider the matter closed. Nomi, got any questions or anything?
What is our cover story?
Well, gonna have to get a little creative on this one. I'll open it up to the floor. What do you think we are? What do we look like? I mean, right now we look like officers, but the idea is to blend in down there.
Oh, I can be a cargo pilot, or I can be a transport pilot if need be. I know my talk around that kind of thing.
Riley can be Riley.
Yeah.
You're already scum, so you're good.
I'm fair certain I can pass for a merc.
Yes.
Everybody turns to look at Nomi.
My concern was more about our presence on the planet. How do we explain what we're doing there?
Well, as I understand it, they craft a fair bit of tech down there. Could be a mercenary group coming through, pilot coming through to worry about upgrading and refueling, as well as our engineer. And you, well, you might be the one that barters well. That's within your skill set. You talk well to people.
Well, if we're going to pose as a mercenary group, shouldn't we bring a few more foot soldiers?
Not Berg. That was going to happen eventually. Booker thinks on that for a moment.
You're the
He's like,
voice.
thinks on that for a moment.
You're gonna pretend you're a mercenary captain named Berg.
That would be perfect.
Oh dear.
I suppose that would make sense. My only worry with that is it seems like a lot of these soldiers are a little green, shall we say. We're grabbing a couple. Gonna be ones that are a little more seasoned.
If you need somebody who's got a bit of a gift of the gab, Holtzman seems with it, if nothing else. He's a talker, but I imagine folks down on that planet might appreciate something like that.
I'd imagine he'd be well suited for the mission. Got any other recommendations?
I haven't got to know the rest of them that well, sorry.
All right. I think we'll get Holtzman, Ramirez, and
What about
Johnson.
Yancey?
Crewman Yancey will be remaining on the ship. And that was a fine joke, Riley.
No, well, it wasn't 100% a joke, sir. It's just, what in the glorious words of Sun Tzu, keep your friends close and your not so friends closer. It might be better to keep an eye on him. Plus, I think forcing him to dress as a peasant might be good for his uppityness, with all due respect. But
And in my experience, you don't take an unstable hothead with problem with authority going on an undercover mission where secrecy is of utmost importance.
If I might, Officer Greaves, it's possible that it could be best to keep Yancey somewhere where we can see what he's doing. If we leave him here, are you concerned that he might try to plan things while you're away?
He's gonna do what he's gonna do. There's not much I can do about that.
Your lack
You really
of
want to take him
planning-
on this mission and jeopardize the mission and our lives?
Your lack of career planning concerns me at times, but I will defer to your judgment.
What do you think, Jason?
I know that some of those crew have been talking, and well, there is talk about people worried about Yancey trying something. They know he's a dickhead, but at the same time, somebody like that, somebody who got pissed off with Riley the way that they did, and I'm imagining the people on Honglu aren't going to take to talking to him quite nicely. Yeah, he could be a problem, but he can be a problem up here too. Sorry, I'm not very good at politics. Not really sure.
On second thought, you do raise a valid point. Man's a hothead. A merc would be a hothead. All right, Yancey's in.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna take Holtzman, Ramirez, and Ibanez.
Yeah, Johnson's out. Ibanez is in. Or
Alright.
Johnson.
Poor Johnson. Just wants the chance to prove himself. Okay. All right. So you're gonna go with your crew of 7.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say one thing. I'm like, I don't know can we fly a Crux shuttle in there? Or are we going to have to mask our comm signal or something like that? Like, I'm just thinking, flying in there. If we're trying to pass off as a cargo pilot, maybe we can't just buzz in with an Imperial shuttle.
Yeah. So your shuttle is currently a Crux shuttle, but this particular ship does have like shuttles that will basically like fly under the radar. They're not stealth shuttles or anything, but they're meant to be retrofitted for this sort of thing. Yeah, they're stealthy. So yeah, you could look over it, but they won't have a built-in Imperial transponder code. etc. You could make up a fake transponder for them and like put an identity on it, but as it stands, your drop shuttles are meant very much to bypass those
Okay.
kinds of security. So it's a
Okay,
good
so
question,
I know that
and
more as
yes,
a pilot.
House Crux has you covered.
Okay. And could I turn to Riley then and be like, Riley, do you reckon you could knock up a fake transponder for a simple Merc unit? Something colorfully named, I don't know, the Red Killers or something? I don't know.
The Red Killers.
I don't know what Mercs call
The
themselves.
Red Killers. The scariest
How-
merc band in all of the verse.
Sure.
Don't tease the poor boy. It was a good try.
To be honest, I got nothing better.
Reckon you can knock something up, Riley?
Yes, of course. I should be able to manage that, I think.
All right. Yeah, I'll find us one of the nondescript shuttles. I don't know. See if there's a spare engineer that can do a quick paint job on it or something. Make it look a bit rough and tumble.
Yeah. You've got like a full 24 hours before you're even in system, and then the Prudence will dispatch its shuttle. It'll stay in orbit outside of sensor range of the planet, and you'll be able to fly in yourselves. So you want to go do that? Okay. Are you and Riley both going to the engineering to get that set up?
If Riley wants to go, yeah. Sweet.
Okay.
I want to give the
Booker-
ship a once over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Booker
me too.
and Nomi, what are the two of you doing? Any prep that you need to do?
Booker's probably grabbing his. I don't know if Crux has the. Probably just informing them of our cover to whatever section of the ship, the department or whatever would be providing with like Merc armor or outfit and things like that. Checking his weapon, make sure it's all good, and also seeing what Nomi's doing and if she's comfortable with the role, if she has any other idea of what role she wants to play.
Yeah, I guess I was kind of wondering, like, where are we gonna get clothes, or like, do we just have clothes that would like fit
Why the
scenario?
replicator, of course.
I mean, I think you can put something together using like flight suits, take the Crux patches off of them, etc. Yeah, I think you could put together alt costumes to pretend that. The thing is, Riley doesn't have to change her outfit at all. Just take the Acre
Yeah.
like patches off. But
Yeah.
everybody else has to dress down.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be too hard.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So Nomi, when you go, I guess you do you go back to your quarters to like pack a bag or whatever because you need to get your meds and everything.
Yeah.
All right. So on your way back to your quarters, you're walking down the hallway. You hear somebody come around they come around a corner and they like call after you. Hear a woman's voice. She's like, Cirrus Ka.
And I stop at my door before I go in, and I just wait for her to like catch up to me, and I turn and look to see who it is.
Okay. So she's a little out of breath. She's like jogs up to you. We see the same girl that Riley saw in the firing range. The Lyra, the cultural attaché, and she's like breathing a little hard. She's like, I heard about your mission, and I just wanted to see if there's anything that I could do to help. Sorry, I saw you get out of the lift. I didn't want to miss you.
How did you hear of our mission?
Oh, it's my job to know these things. Stuff
what
comes
is your
across my
job?
desk.
'Cause I don't know who this is, right?
Like you recognize it. It depends. You can put the screws to her if you want or not, but you know who she is. She's a House Lyra. Her first name is Nicola.
Okay.
Her last name, let me get a last name for her. Her last name is Lynn. So she's Lyra Lynn Nicola. Technically, she's the cultural attaché to the ship. What that actually entails, nobody knows. Nobody actually knows.
Okay.
So yeah, is this? Are you like, I don't actually know you? Are you saying that, or are you like, what is your job? Like, are you how intentional is this question, or is it just like straight up like?
Yeah, it's more just like I guess I can rephrase it in a way
Yeah.
that's like,
Okay. Sure.
what services do you believe you have to add to our team on this mission?
Well, Imperial culture is a complicated thing, and this far away from Imperial Center, sometimes we can lose our innate connection to our culture. The music, the food, the theater, these sorts of things, they're very important to keep us in touch with our heritage. And so I provide to the... None of this is helpful to you on your mission. I just... I don't know. I thought maybe I could give you a briefing about Honglu. I know plenty of things about it. I thought maybe you might have questions.
Have you been to the planet before?
Oh, no. No. It's much too dangerous.
So I kind of like I look at the door because I was about to go in, and then I look back at her, and I'm kind of thinking over like what she's saying and stuff. And then I say, if you do not have duties that require you aboard the ship, and if Officer Greaves is willing to take you along as part of the crew, you may ask him. He is down in the like hangar.
There's a brief flash of disappointment on her face that she does a pretty good job hiding, but you catch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose that's the appropriate thing to
Is
do.
there something else that you wish to say? Now is your time.
No, I'm fine. Thank you. And she just like hightails it out of there. She's just like, I'm done. I'm out. Get me out of here. And she turns and walks away from you. And you hear her like talking to herself quietly. She seems to be chastising herself about how that went as she walks away from you.
Okay. Just go inside and go to pack my stuff.
Okay, yeah. So we just see you go inside. Okay. So meanwhile, in the engineering department, what I guess we see Jason and Riley, and we see the shuttle. And these shuttles are meant to be like as generic looking as possible, so that you can add on to them. And the deck officer that you're talking to, Jason, is like, well, so do you want the whole thing red or just part of it? And like, where do you where? And he nods and he's like, and where am I? And he's looking at some like display. He's like, do you want the skull on both sides or just the one?
Just on the one side, splash of red behind it. Make it look a bit beaten up. Give it some scorch marks. Take a plasma cutter to it on a few puts. Just make a couple of dinks. It's got to look like it's used.
He looks deeply offended by the idea that you would tell him to like damage the shuttle, but he understands. And
I just
he says,
put my hand on the shuttle and whisper to it, "This is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you."
You take a wrench to it. Okay, so he'll get a crew together and they'll make it look nice, but the visuals of a ship are one thing, but making it seem like it's not what it is a different. So
that's where I kind of give Riley a nod of like, you're up, like this is your business.
Okay. So I will go about establishing a false identity, I guess, for the ship, as well as I'm assuming I'll have to come up with our call sign. Or are we going with the red? Was it the red murderers?
The tough badass squad.
I want to see what Riley remembers it being called, and then just go with that.
No.
Yeah, I like it. It's like, what's the toughest, coolest name you can come up with, Jason? You like the Bad Fellows? So yeah, you can go ahead and make a roll to do this. So the idea is that every ship, when it's built, has hard coded into its transponder system a number. Now you can change the call sign of a ship, but the number will remain the same legally. But you're allowed to bend the law to serve your own purposes. So yeah, you pop into the shuttle and crack open the nav computer and go ahead and start messing around in there.
Okay.
You're just trying to create an alternate identity. You're not trying to mimic an existing one. So
Right.
that's fine. It won't hold up if they have like a database, but planet like this probably won't have access to something like that. Cool. Okay. Make a program roll with your intelligence.
Hey.
I'm good at
Blowing
those.
it out of the water. Blowing it out of the water. Okay. Yeah. So it's basically airtight. Like unless someone has a reason to go looking. Perfect. It's perfect disguise for the ship.
Awesome.
For a computer. So you're good.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the call sign of this shuttle that you decide to assign it?
Oh gosh. I'm trying to remember. I'm so sorry, Mark. Out of
No,
character.
I want to see what you came up with.
Yeah.
I want to see what Riley remembers. Like as she's like, oh god.
It couldn't have been the Red Murderers.
I feel like that's what you think it is.
It couldn't have been, but it was something like that. Was it like Killer Red or
Simply
At
Red?
this point, it's whatever you want it to be.
Simply
Yeah.
Red,
Okay,
standing
We're
by.
not gonna
Standing
help
by.
you. It's whatever you want.
Nice. Yep, looks like it's Red Murderers, Adam.
Okay, good. So
yeah.
shuttle red murder.
Yep.
Good. Little on the nose, but it's fine.
We're mercenaries.
Yeah, we're tough mercenaries. Don't mess with us, you'll get red murdered. Okay.
We're men.
Now that it's over, what did you actually say, Mark?
It was I came up with the Red Killers, so it's not.
Oh my
far.
gosh, I was so close.
Not far off.
Yeah.
Murderers implies at least
Red
murdering.
shuttle red murder.
Uh,
The translation issue. It's fine.
It's fine. And then the only other thing I wanted to do, Adam, just quickly, is you mentioned, I think, when we were saying, like, if we wanted equipment, we can pretty much just, like, requisition it from House Crux, like, within reason, basically.
Yeah.
I just wanted...
I'll take a look. See. What
I
are you
just
looking for?
I wanted to basically get Jason, like, a kind of, like, an extendable kind of almost like shield, like a riot shield, like, because I think he wants to be a bit more... He knows that he's not a soldier to run in there and fight stuff. So he's thinking of like, some sort of like cool fold out shield or something that he can deploy so he can kind of be a bit more of a defensive kind of person if they get into a scrap.
Okay, cool. So an armory allows you access to any TL4 military grade weaponry or armor that you might require and maintenance facilities for its upkeep. So TL4, so I'm going to look and see in the equipment list. And while I'm there, is there anything else anybody else wants to attempt to requisition? And also, Booker, you have the like go no go on these because it's your name on the list.
Right. Before we go, as a bit of housekeeping, I can't figure out how to change it, but I did take the Ironhide perk, which means I should have a base AC going in at level 1 of 15, and then that jumps up one more to 16 because it's half my level rounded up. I just don't know how to change this. I've tried to click the pencil and the cog, and both at the same time, and I can't figure it out, Adam.
Okay. All right. So you need to change your armor class?
Yeah, it should be 16 now.
All right. Cool.
I'm reading everything correct.
Yeah, I think you might end up just adding armor, and that'll increase your AC. But I'll take a look at that later. Okay. So
Yeah, a
for
standard normal shield
equipment-
is tech level 0. I'm looking at it now because I don't think I could get like the special fancy force ones and stuff. So
no energy
Yeah.
shields. The
But like a
technology
standard
that
shield
is to make
thing.
those. Yeah, it's made
Yeah.
out of like fancy material, but it's
yeah,
okay.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's
a
no problem.
little
You get,
fold-up
like a
shield.
riot shield.
yeah.
Yep.
A
I
techie
also,
one.
as my perk for leveling up, I did take healer, FYI.
Sweet.
Ah, nice. Okay, great. Okay, cool.
Just so chat
Mm.
knows when I bust out the heal.
Can I take a
Thanks.
couple of line shunts? Considering this
Just
is
said,
probably
can I
going to
take
be.
a couple of lines?
Oh.
Can I just?
Riley's
Really,
Can I
Riley?
do a couple of lines? You know.
You're wanting to, I know Jason's a pilot, but you're looking to fly a little high there before the mission, are you?
Yeah. Do you guys want to get high before we get down on this planet, or
Might help us
nobody's
fit
with
in.
me? No, just doing space coke on my own. All right, fine.
We can't
Yeah. Let
fit
me
a
take a
mech
look
in this
because
ship, right?
I don't know that. No. I don't know that the armory. It's military weapons and armor. So the armory doesn't have. It doesn't have like a line shunt. No. You'd have to obtain that on planet.
Okay.
Can I get some, like, impulse grenades?
If you really think like you have to make an expense report for the Richter, and if he sees impulse grenades on the list, he may be like, yo, before you go, can we talk about this whole sneaking mission thing we talked about before?
Yeah,
but yes,
mercenaries, man.
I mean, you can.
Mercenaries
It's
typically
part-
don't come in looking like they're not going to do damage.
It's
or
part of
can
the
do damage.
costume.
That's all.
yes,
I mean, that's
so-
really all I was thinking. And also, if we had
not
used
gonna-
impulse grenades.
I'm not gonna use the grenades. I just want them hanging off of me.
Is
Yeah,
there
I mean,
such
if
a
you need
thing
some,
as impulse grenades, by the way,
if you
Did I
need
just
some,
assume?
there are grenades.
Give me some space grenades.
Okay, let me take a look and see what your grenade options are.
He did tell him to remind them what imperial. Did he say imperial
Justice. Yeah.
justice looks like?
And
So
that
if things go
includes
south, I'm
grenades.
gonna be like, that was the hand of justice. I don't know what he's talking about. His expense report.
Well.
Can you really put a price on justice? Is what I'm trying to say.
And that's the question. No, I mean, if you want some grenades, you're welcome. You're welcome
Yeah,
to
a
them.
couple, not within reason, like 2 or 3 or something like
A reasonable number of grenades. The reasonable number of grenades is 0, but you can take 3 grenades. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're on page 67. Okay, yeah. So you get a couple of grenades. You get yourself a shield, just in case things go bad, and yeah, and then you gear up. And so I think the next time that we see everybody, you are on this shuttle in your like alternate costume, and I would love it if everybody would describe the like badass mercenary pirate version of themselves. That would be very pleasing to me, and I'm sure the audience. So whoever has a great idea for what they look like as a badass pirate.
Did the officer Nicola talk to Greaves?
No, she did not.
You just like
She
ran
was-
away? Oh my god.
She was
Okay.
too embarrassed by you rebuffing her to even go and talk to.
I'm not in
she
charge
was-
of the mission. She's asking the
It
wrong
wasn't a-
person.
I don't. I mean, I don't want to like call this out to her,
Alright,
but
alright.
it wasn't about the mission. No, me. It
Okay.
was not about the mission.
Oh.
So, yeah. What does pirate Booker, grizzled pirate Booker look like?
He's got kind of like a black and red sort of color scheme going on.
The colors of the red murderers. Yep.
Of course. He's got like a little belt across that where he has the grenades like clamped on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not that creative right now. Sorry. Probably some studs here and there, like some like black studs across here and on the shoulders that come down in like an X formation, things like that.
Okay.
He's messed with his armor a bit and scuffed it up. A couple areas where it looks like a laser blast might have come through. He's just kind of like burned it, and made it look like some plasma has gone through there, here and there. Well, that's kind of it.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I mean, you already looked pretty grizzled and tough before. You're just wearing a different
Exactly.
outfit
That's
now.
that's kind of what was my thinking. Booker's already like,
Okay.
well, don't have to do too much. This shouldn't take too much costume.
Yeah. Nomi, what does your pirate outfit look like?
It's like, do you guys know what like tech wear is? Like streetwear, like tech wear. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm looking. I'm making a face like
Yeah.
yes, please, Anne.
Well, not
But
just
for the rest
not
of
just
the
you, everyone.
for the rest of the
okay?
plebs who don't know who Errolson Hugh is, please go ahead.
Yeah, lots of I mean pretty much just like all black and like combat boots. Lots of straps and buckles that seem like they don't do anything. Maybe it's got like a one of those kind of like masks that you could pull up over half your face, but it's like around her neck right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I like cyber ninja. Nomi, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then Jason, what does your pirate outfit look like?
So I think it's kind of like it's still an armored like vac suit, like a pilot suit, but it's all black. There's no like insignias or anything on it, but it's sleeveless. So the guns are on full display, like the well-toned arms, with I don't know, like like a little kind of like pilot's gloves, fingerless because that makes them more piratey, I guess.
It does. Yep.
Yeah, and yeah.
Do you
and,
have fake tattoos?
No. I guess he
you
wouldn't
haven't-
think to do that.
Okay.
No,
all right.
I don't think he would
That's
think
fine.
to do that. He just has these big arms. I think maybe he like when everyone's coming in and he's kind of looking at, he might just be holding an eye patch up, but then he's like, no, I can't do that. And then he
No,
puts it
that's
away.
too much.
It's too much.
Right.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I can't do that.
Depth perception is good for
Yeah.
piloting ships.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
Okay. And Riley, are you just dressed like you normally are?
Oh yeah. I am, however, kind of like just because I think he looks so cute right now, reach out and just ruffle Jason's hair just a little bit because he looks so put together all the time. Just ruffle it and like take some of my grease and just put a little bit on his face.
Excellent. Cool.
Thanks.
And so you'll all have a breathing apparatus because depending on where you are on the planet, so there's just the one big city. Honglu City is the only place where people live on the planet. The atmosphere here is terrible, and you need a pressure mask and like filter masks and stuff. The higher up in the city you are, the smaller and less intense the mask needs to be. If you go all the way down to the bottom, you're going to need probably heavier hardware than you have, but you all have breathing masks for maneuvering the sort of streets of the city. So this will help hide your identity as well. Cool. Okay, so we see you and you're on the shuttle, and the shuttle is approaching Honglu. So we get the external shot of the city and the planet and the faint glow through the smog as you approach, and our subtitles say, Honglu City as you come flying in. So where do you go to land? Like there's traffic moving in and out of the city. There are major spaceports throughout the city. But you'll need to set down somewhere. What do you want to do?
Swizzle around, look at Booker.
Probably land somewhere. Okay, so what's the layout? It's obviously based on looking at the planet. Like it seems like everything's kind of teched out and just like a big metropolis sort of thing.
Yeah. So there's only really one settlement on this planet, and that's basically where everyone lives. There's some sort of like desert areas on the other side of the planet, but for the most part, yeah, everybody lives in this city, and it's broken down into districts and sectors. There are several major spaceports throughout the city, but yeah, it's a needle in a haystack situation right now.
Gotcha. All right, so then just probably somewhere that's just a little bit outside the center, like of the sector and the settlements and stuff like that. Just anywhere, a merc group looking to resupply, or just check out the planet would land. Nowhere in particular. Also, I do have to ask, because chat's got my interest peaked. What does Yancey look like? What is he wearing?
Pirate Yancey.
He looks like whatever the equivalent of like a rich kid who decides that they want to be tough and cool, and they go to the mall and they buy all of their like hunt gear at like a Hot Topic.
This is like the kid who works at Spencer's. Jesus.
Yeah. So he looks like tough. I guess if you bought tough at the mall. So he has like a leather vest with spikes on one shoulder and like chains hanging down from it. He has a patch on one side that says the Blood Eagle was right on it. And on the back he's got like a big nasty looking like skull like patch. And I think he has like a mesh shirt on underneath that.
Of course he does.
Because whatever. And he's got 2 guns. He's got like he has like pistols in holsters under his vest, and he's like leaning on his laser rifle. And when you look at him, he kind of gives you a like "stop looking at me, I'm tough and cool" look.
Yeah, as Booker's eyeing him up, he's like,
Looking good there, Ibanez.
Sir.
You, Holtzman, not too bad yourself.
Yeah, and when you say something nice to Holtzman about his attempts to like toughen up, he looks more like he watched a bunch of Prism shows about deathless like mercenaries. So he's in the kind of like military. He's replaced all of his black and purple like military fatigues with just the black parts. And he kind of looks like just like a weird military fetishist. So he looks like a professional merc, but a little bit tore up. So he's just kind of like looking like tough. Like he belongs in a PMC. And when you're like, good job, he kind of like looks at you like, yeah, I did research.
I did good, sir.
I put effort
Yeah,
into
exactly. Yep. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So there's a planetary like they don't have like planetary guns, and it's not like a defended system. But as you approach the Honglu sovereign planetary system, like you get a ping from an automated system from a VI that just auto connects to your system, checks who you are, and then gets a flight plan to get you an air traffic controller. Basically, gets you a flight plan down to any one of the sectors that has a landing site. So you guide your shuttle down through the atmosphere and into a crowded spaceport. There are ships of all sorts all over the place. Immediately on landing, you can see places where, like even now, the sigil of House Cygnus is being either scrubbed off the walls or has been spray painted over. There are these propaganda holograms everywhere of that same like military guy that I described before. And it looks like a planet that has just deposed its rightful ruler and is trying to erase its past. But everything here is built on that imperial structure. So a lot of the ships in the like the harbor, a lot of ships in this area are old like Cygnus ships that look like they have battle damage. In fact, the whole planet looks like it's been roughed up once or twice. And so landing in here, you can see all around you just how much these people already like hate the Empire and have kind of hollowed out what House Cygnus left behind. And so you land your ship here.
Cool. I guess I'll look round to the group, like after kind of like patching in like all the landing protocols and stuff. And I'll look to everyone and say, right, so where do we start? I mean, all we know is this kid's here somewhere, right? Do we know who's involved, or where do we begin?
Adam, as far as I just know what was told to me, right? He's been kidnapped. There's been messages reported by his mother-in-law to be that there's a ransom for his return. There's no like details along with that message that was given along to
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't have any additional detail about just that the message was tracked to a satellite. Like one of the comms, one of the Prism comm satellites from here pointed this out as the origin point of the message.
Yeah, and the mission is track him down and bring him to the ship safe.
Yeah, just like save this dude.
That'll just be easy. Yeah, now that'll just be super easy.
Yeah, just pop down there, just find him, save him, no problem.
Booker takes a second, thanks. Riley, would there be any way you could scan and tap into the communications lately or right now and try to see if there's any comm traffic on the one we're looking for?
Like any radio chatter regarding this type of this
You got it.
ransom? I can try. I'm assuming there's a lot of transmissions coming and going, especially because we don't have a smaller radius to look within.
Yeah, you have the whole planet's communication protocols to work with.
Add a
So
little bit
I
of
mean, not from here, and not with the tools that you have available to you. But yes, hypothetically, that's certainly a thing that's possible.
Something possible. Can we find some of the big players on the planet, or anybody that might? I mean, if they're kidnapping nobles, they've got to be well armed or well structured, right? Could we find the right people and either we rough them up, or Miss Carr gets in their head or something? I don't know.
Don't we
Here's what
know
I'm
who
thinking.
offered
Go ahead.
the ransom?
We don't know.
There's not a lot.
How are we
of
supposed to pay them if we don't know? I mean,
Well,
if
it's not about paying the dude. It's about not paying them. It's about getting this guy back and
no, but I mean, if
punishing
they
whoever
said
captured him.
pay us to get him back, how do we know who to pay if they didn't tell us in the ransom note?
There was no, it didn't get that far. It was like, hey, we have your kid. We want a ransom. Stay in touch. And then the person, Amira, the House Vela, was like, no, fuck that. We're sending the cops. And then they called Crux and was like, go and handle these idiots.
So it's like an anonymous message that said, "We've got your kid," but we know it.
Yeah,
came
pretty
from
much. This
Hollywood.
was the letter made out of cut out newspaper bits. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So they've got to be at least they've got to be competent, right? Like to snatch a noble kid. It's not just something anybody can pull off. It's not, we can't. It's not just going to be some minor street gang, right? Like it's got to be somebody with some muscle.
Depends on how dumb the noble is.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
Fair.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
We're coming down here as mercs. Might make sense to see if we're looking for some work. Try to establish a point of contact that way and see what we learn.
Okay.
That sound good? Any other? I'm open to ideas.
Well, sir, do we know what planet this noble was picked up from? Maybe we could do some digging around the ports and see if maybe there's a mercenary transport that has come back recently from that system.
That's a good show.
Me as Booker, I don't know that, so you'd have to tell me, Adam.
No, you have the information that you have.
Okay.
So we don't know like where this noble was like living.
No, he's a Pixis, so like God knows they just wander around.
Right. They're like
he could have
hippies,
been-
right?
Could have been
Yeah,
anyone.
so he just responds.
Unfortunately, we don't have that intel. He's a Pixis. Probably doing whatever they do.
Like looking around, like I don't know what Pixis is, or like.
Yeah, there's like a knowing glance. Everybody's like, yeah, House Pixis. Mm-hmm. Who knows what they're up to?
Are they they're the alien loving house, right?
Yes, that's exactly
Yeah.
what they are like.
That's literally Jason's opinion. It's like they're the ones that love all
Yes.
the freaky aliens. Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get out there and see what we can find out.
Okay.
Booker's.
So
yeah.
it sounds like you wanna make a connection with, like the mercenary underworld that is present on this planet.
Yeah, just to see if the general like area, if there's a hangout or some place where a lot of mercs would hang out, either for work or blow off steam or whatever, just to see if we can catch any chatter about it. Because obviously, I mean, I feel like somebody would be talking about it, and the easiest way to figure that out is to go where everybody's socializing.
Yeah, totally. Okay. So let's have you make a connect roll. and we'll see if you can find a person who can lead you to this place.
Connect with what?
Does anybody want to help with this? Anybody have like a
yeah.
connection they might
Seems
be
like
able to
this
call on?
is. Yeah, definitely.
Connect with
Yes, I'd be asking
by
around like the
himself or
pilots and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be connect with in this
Wisdom
case
or
connect because
intelligence?
you're not looking for a specific person, you're looking for a place where you can find people. Or actually, we can roll them out. We can just make it one roll because you're going to a place to meet someone who you can connect to. So yeah, we'll do it with charisma.
Okay.
But let anyone who's helping you roll first. It sounds like Jason's going to give you a hand.
Yeah, I'll go around and start asking around some of the other pilots, like as we're landing, like as I'm like sorting out, I don't know, pilot stuff.
Yeah. Arranging for like docking and.
I don't help.
Okay.
I get caught
yeah.
talking about ship drives or something and forget to ask.
Right. Hey, is that the new TC-14? It's a hell of a thing you got there.
It's a great engine.
Yeah, so you get wrangled into a long conversation about the differences between drive capacitors, and Booker, you're on your own.
Could I maybe attempt?
Yeah.
Help?
Yeah. How do you want to help?
Can I maybe start talking around or like start mingling with some of the people in the area and and then maybe like ask them like a good place to get a drink around here? I'm assuming like I would
Right.
have the chops to be able to like mingle with them probably a little bit better.
Yeah, you just want to try to just like blend in.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like, just mention in passing like, "Oh man, I'm parched. Know a good place to grab a drink around here?"
Yeah. Go ahead and make a connect roll with charisma. We'll see if you can help out.
Okay. Mm. All right. Oh, there it is. Sorry, took me a second. Go.
Okay. Yep. So you've got some help there. And
You want me to roll connect with charisma with
please do. Okay.
with what's the modifier?
It's going to be using your charisma. And then you need the you get the bonus from Riley. You get +1.
For some reason, I cannot seem to click anything. Actually, roll it.
You can do it.
Working.
I believe in you. Use your hands.
I think the pop out of my character sheet was just being weird. I popped it back out.
Mm-hmm.
So connect with charisma with a bonus of 1.
Yeah, an additional bonus of 1.
Why isn't this working? You just click on the skill. That's what I've been doing, right?
Check the Roll20 window because sometimes it brings up the modifier thing separately.
I think I fixed it. I didn't realize the pencil was on.
Oh.
Yeah, modifier of 1. All right, cool.
Hey, there you go. Okay, yeah, you got it. So there is a bar, a bar that's popular with mercenaries where you could go to meet other mercenaries and meet with people who will have jobs for mercenaries. And this bar is called the Scorpion, and it is
perfect for the Red Murderers.
Yeah, it's not too far. It's not too far from here. So the Scorpion Bar, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, this is your flyer. You could go hand this out at the Scorpion.
Yeah, the design department on the ship's killing it.
Yeah, this was handcrafted in Space Adobe Space Photoshop by your Lyran. The Lyran cultural attaché. She made this for you.
God.
Thank you, Acre, for this good fine work. Okay, so yeah, you have someone let you know that they know of a place, and that there's a guy, there's like someone who he's kind of known as like a fixer on this in this part of this sector. Who, yeah, if you go and talk to him, and if you got the cash to make the connections, and you're good for what you promise, you can meet up with this dude. And his name, let me get a name for him. His name is Radovan. He's Officer Radovan, but everybody calls him the captain. And you can meet with him at the Scorpion. Captain
And his
Radovan.
position, officer. Like, what is he?
He's not a noble.
Okay.
He's just a guy. He's a guy who knows people. And you can meet him there.
All right, yeah, then we make way towards Officer Radovan at the Scorpion.
The Scorpion.
Okay. So yeah, we crossfade to the outside of this bar, this Scorpion bar, and it's down under. Once you walk out, you have to put your masks on. Once you leave the space, we can go out into the streets. So everybody has their face masks on, and we can see the crowds kind of moving. It's nighttime, and everything is thick with this like smog. So people are carrying like lanterns, basically, and they have to illuminate their way through the thick industrial fog, and we can see this big hologram of a scorpion that occasionally sort of shifts in its space, illuminating a white cloud over the door of this bar. And you can hear music throbbing from inside, and we see the group of you approach. And Holtzman says to you, Booker, he's like, Officer Greaves, you want me and Ramirez and Ibanez to stay outside? Keep an eye on the exits for you.
Not Officer Greaves. Booker, look around.
Yeah, and he's like, oh shit, sorry. Yeah, this is gonna take some getting used to. Booker, you want me and the boys to stay outside? We'll keep an eye on things for you out here.
I don't really know. That looks a little odd to me. Feel like you'd come in and mingle.
Yeah, he nods.
Not military protocol here.
Right, of course. And you can hear him. He's about to say "sir," and you can hear him clip it off before it comes out.
Can I just slap Holtzman on the back and just be like, just keep up the tough guy act. You're doing a great job.
We don't see his whole. Yeah, we don't see his whole face because he's got the mask on, but we see his eyes kind of go a little wide, like I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Pretend like it's a vacation. Loosen up, Holtzman.
And he looks around and he's like, "Yeah, vacation, great, with a side of Hong Lung, shit." And and then he follows you in, and so the Red Murderers make their entrance. The music that we heard, yeah, slow-mo, obviously slow-mo, right? The music we heard before with the filter on it, now it's like full volume, like vroom, 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 like pounding, and there's like aggressive guitar, and so it's like it's like what some uncool producer thinks of as like a tough heavy metal bar. And yeah, there are tables with mercenaries all kind of sitting around. There's a bar at the back. The whole place is kind of dark, and it's all lit in like red and black. And as you all walk in slow motion, some people look up at you and they see you, but no one really pays any attention. And you walk in as this loud, this very loud music plays in the background.
Yeah, looking in, Booker like kind of surveys the place. Does he have an idea of what Radovan looks like, or was there a specified meeting?
No, but this is like his bar. So if you ask somebody, they'll probably be able to.
Yeah. So Booker goes up to the bar, and as the like shouting like over the music,
Radovan, you know where I can talk to him and find him.
And the bartender looks sort of suspiciously at the group of you, and then he nods and he points back behind him at a door that leads into the back.
All right, yep, go that way.
Okay. Right. So you head into the back, And again, the music cuts back out as the group you come in, and you walk up to this door, and there's somebody sitting in a stool, and he looks up and he stands up and puts his hand out when you come up, and he looks at the whole group, and he shakes his head and he says, "Too many."
How many would please you?
And he looks lasciviously at Nomi when you say that. Like he looks her up and down.
Not that one.
And yeah, he shakes his head. He says, 2, no more.
Then Booker looks at Nomi and is like you're coming with me. You're not staying out here. Yeah. And then motions like, we good?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the two of you go into the back and head in there. But we stay outside with Jason, Riley, and the rest. What are you gonna do while you're waiting for Officer Greaves and Nomi to come back?
I'm going to attempt to talk to people as best I can. Are we still wearing our masks inside?
No, you can breathe inside. This is a good point. So you look over and built into the wall there is a struggling air like an air purifier, and it looks like you can still see the bolts and the pieces of metal that used to be part of a ship deck that it was bolted onto, and they've just ripped it off of a ship, stuck it in the wall, and now it's processing the air in here, and it's chugging along. You can't hear it, but if the music weren't so loud, you can very clearly what this machine sounds like, and it is slowly dying. But for now, it's clean enough, the air in here.
All right.
So Riley's going to go and talk to people, and I think Jason puts on a good front, but he knows he's out of his element, so he'll kind of slap Holtzman on the arm and point to is there a spare table, or is there a bar with space or something like? Yeah.
You can make your way over to the bar.
Yeah, and I'll try and take Yancey and Ramirez with me as well. Like the four of us will try and grab a table or something.
Okay. I have a question for Jason.
Oh.
Do you lean on the bar?
I think it's too early for a lean now. We gotta save the lean for later. So he'll sit down. Maybe lean back on the chair. Tip the chair back. Yeah.
Okay. So the four of you walk over to you find an empty table and you sit down, and you are accosted immediately by prostitutes. Like just right away, a group of 2 or 3 of them come over dressed barely and just start chatting with you. Ibanez is excited about this. Ibanez is just like, ladies, and starts talking to these girls. Holtzman tries not to he's looking at the ceiling while he's talking to them, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Sorry, I'm holds his hand up and he's like, I'm married. Sorry. But yeah, right away they're just on you, essentially, hassling you about it. So
I'll just gesture to Ibanez. Seems to be enjoying himself. I will definitely try and direct any attention to me or Holtzman back to Ibanez, because I'm like, man, you can get all the space STDs you want, you dickhead. I'm like, go ahead.
I'm gonna roll to see if Ibanez is cover for me. Yeah, he fails his mental save. So he when you look over at him, he looks at you, and there's this look like, if Greaves comes back, don't tell him what I'm doing.
I don't react. I just look at him kind of deadpan.
Okay. Yeah. So he gets up and he's like, sorry guys, these ladies need to be interrogated. I'll be back. And he walks off, and they go with him.
As soon as he turns around, can I have on my data pad, or can I just literally film him walking away with these ladies? I'm just filming it on my camera, just a little data pad or something, just
Sure. Yeah, you can get some like shaky cam footage.
And then I done not for long, just enough that it shows him clearly leaving with these ladies.
Mhm.
And then I put it back in my little pouch.
Okay. All right. So yeah, a bartender comes over and takes orders. And you get drinks brought to you, and then you sit and wait. And in the background, we get the focus pull to the door, and then we fade to Nomi and Booker. And the two of you are walking down this concrete prefab kind of like hallway, and it's pretty unadorned, right? It doesn't have a bunch of ads like the outside space does. The music is quieter back here, and at the end of the hall there is there's a door. There's like a metal door.
Okay, so there's a hallway with just a metal door at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it look sketchy? I mean, I'm sure it does look sketchy. That's a dumb question. We just walked through the hallway.
Yeah, it's just like a short hall with another door. This door is shut. But you could just try it. You could just open it, or you can knock on it, depending.
Probably just open it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So you open it. There is a private like room in the back. It's not as like it doesn't look like a bar. There's a plain table. There's a single light from above. There's a couple of chairs sitting around it, and there's a midway through game of mahjong laid out on the table. There's an ashtray with smoke drifting from it, a big pile of cigarette butts. And there's a man. He's enormous. He's like probably like 400 pounds and like 6'2", 6'3". Big ropey tree trunk arms, a big black beard. He's got a shaved head, and he's got one cybernetic eye and one cybernetic hand, like about halfway down the wrist. And he's talking to a guy who looks like nothing special. Like he's just wearing like a worker's outfit. He has like a mohawk, like a short mohawk, and the two of them are just having a conversation when you open the door and you come in. And he looks up and he waves this guy he's talking to. He's just like, "Get out of here!" And when he holds his hand up, you see he's got these big, thick gold rings on him, and he just gestures like, and he looks over at you. Now you made the connect roll, Booker. You know this guy either by reputation or directly. Like you have some past with him, whether he knows it or not. Like, how do you know this guy? Like, what was it that turned you on to like finding this place? How do you know him? Where do you connect in the past?
I think on a previous detachment, this wasn't him serving on a ship. I want to say he worked in like somewhat kind of like special ops for House Crux, like people that like, do wet work kind of stuff. And he was a contact a while back that was
right, like a CI,
known thuggery kind of dude that doesn't really care who he's helping. But he just
just he gets paid.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
He's just a guy that knows stuff. It's been a long time.
He recognizes you, and he gets up, and he still had both eyes and both hands last time you saw him. So he gets up, and his eye does the like rotating focus thing, and he scowls, and there's a grinding noise as he slides the table away from him rather than walk around it. He just like pushes it to one side, and a moment like hangs in the air where he's just like scowling at you. Nomi, do you want to do anything, or do you want to try to read the room, or what? You see this happening?
Yeah, if I can use my telepath to like just kind of read the situation.
Yeah. So you want to connect telepathically to him? Okay. So you can commit whatever effort you need to commit, and he this becomes revealed in his actions, but he's actually he's happy to see Booker, and he thinks this might mean an opportunity for him. But also under that strategy, he's trying to hide something. Like there's something that he doesn't want Booker to know. But for the most part, he's trying to cover that up with. And then we cut back to him, and he smiles and he says, "It's like Booker, it's been forever." And he strides across the room and like two quick strides and grabs you, Booker, in a big hug. It's hot in here, so it's a big sweaty hug.
Yeah. I'm assuming Booker's face is like in, like his shoulder, like, or, like up here, and he's like,
Your whole life for a second is sweaty man and chest hair. And then he holds you back and sets you down. And he says, "What are you doing? This planet is a shithole. I thought they made you somebody important."
I missed you too much, friend.
And he grins and he looks at Nomi and he bows to you and he says, "Who's this? Are you going to introduce me?"
Am I
he
supposed
just
to have
goes
like
like
a
this, like,
fake name?
go ahead.
I just realized like am I supposed to like have a not serious identity or?
See, Booker at this point knows that Radovan knows like who he is, and that like at least with this guy he can be straight with, but he's wanting to see how Nomi reacts to this.
Okay. So Booker doesn't introduce me. You just like motion for me to do it myself.
Booker leaves you hanging.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I just I kind of return the bow and I just say, "My name is Nomi." I just wait. That's it.
He puts his hand out to like shake yours or like take your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
I put my hand out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he leans over and if you weren't wearing gloves, you would feel his bristly mustache just lightly brush the back of your hand. He doesn't actually like touch his lips to your hand. And then he looks at you and he says, "It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm sure you've heard everything about me." Everything he says is a lie, except how handsome I am. But you can see that for yourself. I'm Radovan, man of some significance. And he looks at you, Booker, and he says, "But it's been so long. What are you and your beautiful friend doing here?"
Wanted to challenge you to a game of mahjong.
And he looks at the table, and you notice that when he moved the table, he did so gently enough not to disturb the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he shakes his head and he says, "I don't play mahjong anymore."
Like looking at
And
the
there's
table.
like, and so Nomi, you're still connected to him. He's suddenly really sad, like something like a deep loss just like wells up when he thinks about. He looks at this particular mahjong board and is like, something hurt him in the past, and it's connected to this.
A mahjong? Oh.
Yeah, to this game, this specific table in this game. Yeah.
Or not.
I mean, you don't. He doesn't express that externally.
He doesn't say that,
But
no.
Nomi, you're suddenly aware of it.
Yeah. I like put my hand on Booker's shoulder, and I say, "Perhaps there is time for games later. We have urgent business." And I look back at him, and I kind of give him like a slight nod that he of understanding.
Yeah. He catches the look, but he doesn't get what it means. But he just kind of like he looks back at you, and he says to you, "Well, you're either not working for the house anymore, or you're undercover. Either way, I can help you. What do you need?"
Is there any is there like a private bar back here or anything? Also, is the other guy gone completely, or did he?
Yes,
is he
yeah,
still
he's
around?
dismissed. He's
Okay,
dismissed.
so it's just us in this room.
Yeah, and yes, there's a bar. There's a sidebar of like chipped and kind of like dingy looking bottles.
Booker's like,
Have a drink?
And he gestures and he says, "My meager home is at your disposal, old friend. Pour one for me."
walks over and starts pouring on the drink. Looks at Nomi like,
How about you?
No, I don't. I like kind of shake my head like I'm not.
I hope that Nomi's just like, No.
Just no, we're good. Okay, yeah. So you pour the drinks, and you come back over, and he clinks his glass with yours. He drinks his whole drink in one go, and wipes a couple of spilled drops out of his beard. But you can certainly take your time. And and so he just looks expectantly at you, like, well, down to business.
Gotta be honest with you, Radovan. I'm here to kill you.
He says that while like smiling, like just like
Yeah, he takes a deep breath and he sighs and he says, I knew all that trouble we got into would catch up with me one day. Was it about the lying? Is it the cheating? Is it all the women I stole from you over the ages? And like, this show is for Nomi.
Yeah. Like, so how do you want it?
He says, well, you're not going to even give me a chance to fight back?
Wouldn't be that long of a fight.
and just let
he
that
holds
hang
up-
in the air.
He holds up his cybernetic hand and it like whirs loudly and he says, no, don't think it would.
And like Booker looks at him like just like kind of gives him a quick wink, like just play along. and he like takes his pistol out and's like
Yeah.
and
and
he does
he-
the
yeah.
same kind of thing and we just like hold it.
Yeah, he just kind of stares at you like intensely.
We're just fucking
Listen.
around, Nomi.
I've got friends here now, people who rely on my services. So I can't go far. And if you are still working for the house, nobody can know. Because if this comes back on me, and there's a moment where you can feel Nomi that he's like, he's not angry, but like he means it. He's very steadfast. Like, if you fuck me on this, I will
Yeah.
fuck you back.
No.
Um,
Booker like very sincerely like drops the gun and like realizes like, all right, silly time's over, and he's just like,
I can promise you, anything you say to me stays with me.
I have to be practical about this. That means money. I need credits to run this operation. So whatever you need, you're gonna have to pay. I can't run a business on friendship.
That's fine.
Well, enough foreplay. What is it?
Booker just gets straight to the point about the whole situation is like,
You know the name.
and he like before he speaks, he's like remembers that Wiley and like he usually has some sort of comms going, especially when he's in his meeting with people. He's like just motion. There's no like microphone. Basically, that's what he's like. It's not on tape. Makes that gesture.
Yeah. He shakes his head and he says, the things that get said back here, no. You're safe. Go ahead.
You know the name Erickson Mohammed.
Shakes his head. No. I haven't heard it.
Apparently, the Pixis noble that got kidnapped by someone. He's supposed to be around here, in Honglu. That's why I'm here. Why the getup? Obviously, we can't coming through with the House Crux banner. Another job.
I'll tell you this. Anybody here finds out who you really are, you'll wish dying was the only thing that was going to happen to you. They burn
Oh, I know.
nobles alive around here.
That's why I intend to not get found out. Be straight with you, though. Wouldn't lie to you. You'd know if I was anyways.
So, you're looking for this Pixis. Aren't you looking in the wrong place? Ain't many aliens around here. But
Well-
kidnapping. He nods. Kidnapping's pretty common. This place, it's easy to hide out. Not hard to get lost around here.
So what, then that's it? You don't have anything for me?
Give
You
me
gotta
some
throw me
time.
something. You know everybody.
Maybe I can. Yeah, and he's like, maybe I can ask around. Let's have you make a talk roll to convince him. Nomi, you're helping by reading the situation, reading the guy. So why don't you roll first?
11.
Nice, very helpful. All right, so make that talk roll, Booker, and we'll see how you do. You get an extra +1 from Nomi's help. Okay, all right, so you got a 9. So he says to you, he's like, maybe I can ask around, but what do I get in return?
Well, you already said credits. That's a given.
How much?
Do you have anything else?
He says how much?
Yeah,
Based
he
on
wants an
previous
offer.
like jobs. Like I don't know. I'm trying to get established. It's still hard for me to establish.
Yeah, like
a
because you
base
as a player, you don't
as a
know.
player. Yeah, I don't know.
In
It's
the,
like
in the world.
pay for a job.
There's a
or
table. There's a table for like bribes and shit. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. It's one of the few
like
things that
average. Here we go. Let's see. So like bribing to get forgiveness for like a capital crime would be 5,000. But it's so I think it's probably less than that. I think like 1,000 credits would probably be like a reasonable offer.
Yeah.
How about 1,000? And 1.
He says it's a joke.
Yeah, he's like, I could use the credits, but there's something else. Something I think you can do for me if you've still got pull on Hyra. I've got a record. I can't go within a jump of Imperial Prime. And he grins and he shows off. He's got this one like iron tooth. He grins and he says, 1,000 credits now. You promise me you get that ban lifted so I can go about my business in the core. I'll be happy to ask everybody I can find about your missing Pixis. He
Booker thinks
puts
for a
out his
second, like
puts out his
Yeah.
robotic hand, like, we got a deal.
how much of a request is that based on Booker's like position and not
Fucking
too bad.
nothing.
Yeah, I figured
If
it.
you
Yeah.
if you can convince a real easy roll to convince the Richter to do it, and then
Yeah.
it can be expunged. Yeah. No
Yeah.
problem.
That sounds great, old friend.
Hands his hand,
So
gives
you
him a nice
reach
hearty
out.
shake.
Yeah, you reach out, you grab his hand, and we cut back to the bar. So Riley, you are you had some information you wanted to dig up.
Whoops, was muted.
Talk to
Yes.
some people.
I did, but I also wanted to do something else. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, how do I want to do this? I think I know how
That's a
I want
great
to do
question.
this.
I love the Riley plays. Here we go.
Why do you have to say it like that, Mark? Okay. All right. So, I was at the bar as well. So I'm going to say that I saw Yancey leave with one of the prostitutes.
You saw Yancey leave with 3 of the prostitutes.
Okay.
3.
There's another one every time.
I'm assuming they all probably go to the same hotel because there's usually like one location that most prostitutes
Oh,
go to.
it's not even a hotel. They go upstairs.
They go upstairs. Sweet.
There's
that makes this super easy.
The upper section of the Scorpion is for business.
I'm going to go ahead and go over to the bartender.
Okay.
And just kind of lean forward and be like, hey, I was hoping to get something a little bit stronger than a drink.
And he looks at you. He kind of like looks around. What did you have in mind?
You know, kind of something that might leave somebody having a real good time, but indisposed for a while.
And he grins and he's like, "You don't look like the kind of girl that needs that kind of help."
I smile and I say, "It's not for me."
And he kind of like leans back. He's like, I don't know. Make a
Oh,
talk
come
roll and see if you
on.
can convince
I
him.
promise I won't do anything too heinous with it.
Come on, give me the roofies. Okay.
I didn't call them that.
I mean, that's very much explicitly what you're asking for, right?
It's a
Basically, yeah.
spoofy.
Crazy fun
This
time
is
knockout
space.
drugs. Yeah.
So
What's
top
in a
roll,
name?
right?
What's in a name?
Oh God.
Ooh.
All right. So he shakes his head and he looks over. He looks over the table where Jason and them are, and he says, "I don't want any trouble with your boyfriends."
My boyfriends.
I'll look
And
over.
I was just
Yeah.
I'm
So you
just-
look over
I'm-
and Jason look
I'm
like
just
looks at you
watching.
like what? Yeah. And he puts his hands up. He's like, "They look tough."
Oh, I promise you I'm tougher than they are.
Yeah, he's so confused right now. He doesn't know what to do with you because he's like, "Are you trying to get me in trouble or like?"
No,
And
no.
he says, "Yeah." And so he looks at you, and I think somebody else on the bar is like trying to get his attention. He says, "You want a drink or not?"
Yes, I'll take a drink.
And he nods and he gets a glass and pours you something and sets it on the bar.
I grab the
And,
drink, strut over to Jason, and just like glare at him as I drink my drink.
What did I do? What was that about?
Jason,
Yes.
you're making it difficult for me to procure drugs.
I look around. I'm like, I haven't done anything. I look at Holtzman. Did you do anything?
And Holtzman is like got his hand over his mouth and he's trying really hard not to laugh. Like he's laughing into his hand right now. And he can't answer. He's just like, "No, I got nothing."
I can't. What do you want? I was having a drink. You go up to the bar. He calls us your boyfriends. And then you come over saying that we can't help you get. What are you talking about?
Why are you always so happy? This is so upsetting to me right now.
You got to stay happy in this universe, haven't you? It's too much to be sad about.
Jason.
I think. What? Look,
I
Riley. What you
really-
do is not. Go on.
What do you mean what I do? What kind of person do you take me for?
What I was going to say was, whatever you do is your business. It's none of mine. But, I mean, just, yeah, keep your head straight. This kind of place, and he just looks around.
So when you look around, you're like, yeah, keep your head straight in a place like this. You look up, and the door that you saw, Ibanez, you saw Yancey go into. You see him emerge, and he is several shades whiter than he was. He's pulling his vest on, and he's giving you a look that precedes, "We've got to get out of here."
Oh my god.
As he pushes his way through the crowd towards you.
I was trying to avoid this.
I look at him like, does he come over to our table?
Yeah. He gets to the table, and he's already in the middle of like, come on, we gotta go. Get up,
No,
get the fuck up, let's go, come on.
No, I'm gonna stare him down. I'll be like, no, we've got to wait for Booker and the rest of them.
No, we definitely do not need to wait for it. We'll catch up with Booker. Let's go. And Holtzman is getting up like, "Oh, it's time to go. Let's get out of here." And he grabs your sleeve and is like, "Jason," and like yanks you to your feet or tries.
Yeah, he can try. I'll just stand up and I'll just like kind of get right in. I'll just be like, What the fuck have you done?
I will explain later. Let's go.
Did you kill a
And
hooker?
he turned. So you say that to the empty room, like he doesn't hear you, but you say it to the camera, and and he's pulling you. He's like, we got to get out of here. And you can see on the other side of the room where he came from, because there's a crowd in here. On the other side of the room, there's a bit of a commotion or a kerfuffle by the door, and now two of the like bouncers basically are doing the push their way through the crowd towards you thing. And Yancey's like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, come on, and like pulling you.
I'm gonna. Fuck.
That's appropriate. Yep.
Yeah, I just kind of like I do stand up and I turn to Holtzman. I say like, you and Ramirez just, get to the door, like just keep us covered or something. And then I look at Riley like, what the fuck do you like? This Jason is so far out of his comfort zone. Riley seems a bit more comfortable. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Oh, you look at me? Oh, I have the perfect
I like look at you.
I have the perfect solution for this. I immediately stand in front of Yancey and shove him, and I'm like, "You did what?" And like, and I start to act like I'm. How do I want to do this? I basically want those guards to take him. I'm trying to pull the whole. He's not with us, so please take him away.
You want to like give him to the guards?
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna like get in his way and like point down and be like, right here, the fucking disgusting pig is right here. I saw the whole thing go down.
I'm like, that's
he looks at you.
What the
fuck?
He
looks at you like, I hated you before, but now it's personal.
Jeopardizing the whole crew.
And then one of the guards, one of the bouncers like pushes through the crowd and then and grabs Yancey by the back of his faux leather vest and like yanks him over, and he says something in Hong Lu's like pigeon language, and Yancey shakes his head. He's like, I didn't fucking, it wasn't me. It's not my fault. And you look over, and one of the sex workers that he went with, she is like pointing at him and is like, that's the one. And behind her is one of the other ones, and one of the other three that went up, and he's like nodding, like, yeah, she's right, like that's the guy we went upstairs with. And Yancey's just like, what the fuck, like let go of me, and like trying to get free. And he's looking at you, Jason, like, punch this fucker already, come on, like we're bros, bro.
I'll just lightly put my arm on Jason's shoulder, like, do not get involved here.
I'm gonna turn to Riley and just be like, fucking go and get, but like, I'm just like, go and tell him what's happening. Like, he needs to know what's happening.
Blow our cover like this. Oh my god.
I'm like, I just say,
I find saying things like, don't blow our cover is a really great way to make.
I was totally saying that.
That was Jasmine. That was Jasmine.
That was Jasmine. Riley would never say that.
No,
Okay, I'll say what I'm actually thinking, which is this. I'll say this. I'll say, and how exactly do you expect me to get back there?
I don't know, convince him. And I'll just turn on the bouncer guy. I'm like, look, I don't know, just figure it out. And then I'll turn to the bouncer guy.
Yeah, so you turn to the bouncer. What do you do? Like, figure it out, and you turn to the bouncer.
I'm like, what did he do? Like, what did he? I'm like trying to like kind of diffuse the situation, but not like just kind of delay it, if nothing else. Like, I'm trying to stall for time.
So the bouncers turn to you when you kind of like raise your voice a little bit, like, hey, like, pay attention to me. What did he do to give Riley a chance to slip away? Yancey uses this opportunity to slug the nearest bouncer in the face because he thinks that's what you're doing. Like, you're distracting him, right? So the bouncer looks away, and Yancey's like, oh, I saw now, boys. And like punches the bouncer, who staggers sideways. Blood splatters from his nose. And then Yancey like gets his fists up like, oh, this is it, we're doing it. And he looks at you like, you got my back, right? We're going to fight these bouncers. What do you do?
I'm so... I'm trying to think what I would do in character.
Oh man, you got Thunder and Fury ready to go. Smith & Wesson, cocked and ready.
No, he doesn't.
Man, I just wanted to roofie him and leave him here.
Yeah, that would have been great, wouldn't it? There's no way that was going to happen. I will just step back. I will just step, like, this is Jason being a bit of a selfish poor kid. He just steps back and he's like, whoa, like, whoa, like, calm down, like, what's going on? Like, he's going to play the, like, I don't know what to do.
Okay, so when you put your hands up, like, I'm not gonna fight, both bouncers turn on Yancey. The one he punches him in the face.
He kind of deserves this, so I ain't feeling too guilty.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna just do like an opposed roll here. So there's two bouncers versus Yancey, and all he wants to do is make an opening for himself to run. He can't win this fight. He's not gonna knock them both out. So this is the roll for the bouncers. This is gonna set the difficulty for Yancey. Ooh, he's lucky. It's a low one. All right. So if he can get a 6 or better, he's just gonna roll flat 2d6. If he can get a 6 or better, or a 7 or better, he has an opening. He like maybe knocks one of them down and can like run for it. If he gets lower than 6, then he gets the shit kicked out of him. Let's see how he does. Ooh, Yancey! Yancey, no. Okay, so
baby.
So one of the bouncers looks up at you. This is how this thing goes. Looks up at you like, oh, you're with this asshole, huh? And then Yancey sucker punches him. The guy turns back, bang, hits Yancey in the face, probably breaks his nose. Yancey's head snaps back. He falls onto a table. The other one picks him up and holds him while the first one punches him in the chest and head several times. While that's happening, yeah, Yancey's getting the shit kicked out of him. While that is happening, Riley, you are slipping away.
Sure. It's loud in here. I'm assuming
it's very loud. Yes.
I probably can't call Booker using like my...
No.
Yeah, I figured.
No, he wouldn't be able to understand you.
I guess I'll just like walk over to where that person who previously did not let me into the back room probably won't let me in now, but I guess I'll
make a luck roll. Make a luck save. I want to see something as you walk over.
He's like gotten up or something like that, or like he's not paying enough attention. Ugh.
Okay, nope. He's disciplined enough to stay in place. So when you walk over, yeah, exactly. So when you walk over, he's kind of trying to peer over the crowd to see like, oh, what's going on. But no, he stayed in place. If you'd succeeded, he would have wandered off. But yeah, you walk up, and he looks at you like, what do you want?
Hey there, bud. I just need to get in the back and talk to the boss for a second.
Yeah, he shakes his head. He said, no, I said before, 2 only. You can stay out here and keep me company until they come back if you like.
If you let me in there, then maybe we can work something out.
He squints suspiciously. Make a talk roll. I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just make a talk roll with charisma.
I'm not a good talker. I'm a fixer.
He looks at you and he shakes his head and he puts his hand up and he's like, nah, I don't do cyborgs. He just folds his hands over his chest and sits down. You see on his forehead
to handle them.
Oh, you want to make this guy angry?
Okay. I want to pique his attention. So I'm just gonna like sort of, scratch the back of my head, flexing a little bit, my nice big metal arms, and be like, "Oh, you don't think you can handle them?"
So what is your goal here besides just straight up pissing this guy off? Like, what do you want him to be doing?
I want to get a rise out of him. I want to pique his interest.
So that what will happen? Because you have it. If you want him to be angry, he's angry.
Oh, I wasn't trying to get him to be angry. God, everyone here is so quick to anger.
I mean, he just like he sneers at you like fuck you, like sure, but you get a rise out of him. But what do you actually want him to do? Because he's definitely like yeah, sure, cyborgs.
I know what to do. I'm gonna be like, fair enough. Tell you what. You let me through, maybe I'll see if I can talk to old girl in there and maybe set you two up. if you're more into the fleshy types.
So it's come to this, has it?
Yes, I'm pimping out
Just
my
call
crew
me
members.
Old girl, also.
Old girl, yeah.
How old do you think Nomi is? Rude.
Oh, it's
okay.
it's a phrase.
Yeah, it's a thing that we peasants
God.
say. Listen, words
Yeah.
don't have meanings when you're a pleb.
When
It's
Nomi
fine.
dies, I'm making a super ugly character, just so you guys know.
So I think before you have he looks at you like, what are you saying? And before you get a chance, I think this is when Booker and Nomi come back. So the door opens, and you see Booker and Nomi behind. And Booker, you walk out into a bar fight, or not a fight, but you hear the wet packing sounds of meat being pummeled with fists. And like someone is getting beat up.
Does it look like
and
they're gonna? Does it look like they're gonna kill Yancey by beating him, or are they just kicking the shit out of him?
Make a notice roll.
Okay.
To see.
With wisdom?
There are very
yes,
probable.
please. No, they are teaching him a lesson. These people know how to beat people up without killing them. They want to remind him not to come back to this place.
Yeah, okay. In that case, like if I don't think they're gonna kill him, I'm just like, whoa, man, he's a fucking asshole. Like he's one too many hits with the space fist. Like he's crazy, man. Like
yeah, right, but not actually doing anything. Just standing nearby, being like, I can't control him when he's like this. Don't hit him again. Don't hit his weak face where he gets hit a lot. Okay, yeah. And mostly people are just watching the bouncers like beat on this guy. Booker, if you don't get involved, they will get tired of pummeling him and then throw him out into the street.
Exactly what Booker does. Like Booker comes out, looks, sees what's happening, sees like, oh, there's a fight. Oh, it's Yancey getting his ass kicked. That's a shame. And also, assessing like this will run its course and it's the best option.
Yeah, I look at Booker and I say, well, it seems like we missed all the fun.
Yes, right.
I just kind of like,
right out here.
I'm gonna like shrug to the guy I was talking to and be like, whoops, never mind. Offers up. You lost your chance.
Okay. Yeah. And at this point, since there's no strangers in the back, he's come over to like look. But yeah, Nomi, you hear Riley be like, no, time's up, lost your chance.
Yeah. So I just look at Riley and I say, so what's going on here?
Well, the venerable Yancey, most honorable noble of House Crux, decided to lay with women of the night and do something unsavory enough to have the guards called down upon him. And now he is. I think he probably tried to strangle one of them. Who knows? It's Yancey. There was like 3 girls who went in there and only one who came out. For all we know, he killed one. I honestly have no idea.
If he killed one, he'd be dead already.
Can I like come over at this point and be like, I don't know what these guys are saying. They're talking Honglu. I can't get out what he's done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think they're just about ready. They're just about ready to throw him out. They've taught him his lesson. Maybe you're having this conversation out in the street, like you left the bar. And I think they open the door and he gets thrown out onto the street. He falls on the ground, and immediately gets up and he like pats himself down and realizes like somebody in the kerfuffle has like stolen his guns, and his face is like bloody and he's spitting blood. He tries to get up and he stumbles. Holtzman and Ramirez help him stand up. He throws them off like, fuck you, I don't need your help standing up. And he spits in the direction of the door and he shouts, he's like, you fucking made your last mistake, you fucking plebs. I'm gonna come back here. You just fucking wait. And he's just like screaming obscenities at the door. And Ramirez and Holtzman are like, buddy, like calm down. Like, come on, let's go. And they're like trying to pull him away. And he's drunk on being punched. Yeah, I mean, he's just like screaming at the bar.
Booker real quick
Nobody's
and
even
he's
around
gone.
anymore. He's just like yelling at the bar.
Can Booker hear that at all? Like, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because he
Are
gets
we at
thrown
the
out
back
and
of
then
the
he
bar?
tries.
Yeah.
No, you're out in the street now because you guys were like leaving with him as he got thrown out. I assume.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say
Like-
he was like, because I was saying that assuming we were like not within earshot of anyone, that we were near the back of the bar, like in a quiet place.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
I thought you were outside, which is why you said that, and because there's no one around to like hear that.
Oh,
out in
okay.
the street.
Yeah, as long as we were isolated. Yeah, no. I got
Yeah.
scared for a
I
second
figured
there.
you were waiting outside for him to finish getting beat on and then thrown out into the alley. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine then.
Yeah. So he gets thrown out and they just slam the door and he like spits blood on the door and is just yelling like,
So we're currently inside the bar or outside.
Outside.
no, you're outside. You're in like
Outside.
a side alley. There's a bunch of big like garbage
Yeah,
canisters.
you got thrown into the garbage alley. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just monitoring him. Just like Booker's like ready to pistol whip him if he begins to say anything about nobility and House Crux and whatever.
Yeah, I don't think he goes there. I think he like pulls his vest, like throws off anybody who's trying to help him, wipes his face. He just smears the blood around a little bit. And I think the last thing that we see before the end of the episode is he looks up at Riley, and you don't need to be a psychic to know that every bad thing that just happened to him is your fucking fault. So he looks
I
at you
told him
like,
to kill a hooker.
you did this. I mean, he didn't have time to kill anybody. He probably just like violated the no smoochie rule. But he looks at you like through bloodied, soon to be blackened eyes, like, fuck you, Riley, you did this to me. And then we cut to credits on angry Yancey face. Aren't you glad
Yancey
you brought him
was.
along? Aren't you glad? He's such a great
Yeah.
guy.
I
I'm trying to
mean,
leave him here.
all things considered, I'm pretty happy he came along.
Yeah, he was very distracting. So you got some information. Your friend's gonna do a lead, and you're good to go. Did anybody? I don't have the list in front of me. Did anybody achieve any of their goals? I know some people had like bigger or smaller goals, but I remember there was one.
I think there was plenty of synergy between our group.
Yeah, talk to me about that goal again.
So yeah, that goal was essentially to. I'm trying to go to it right now. Short term was
Yeah, it's
to
okay.
bring together his operative group and improve their reliability and synergy. So I'll leave that to interpretation.
Maybe
for
at the
you.
end of this mission, we'll check in to see if you've improved.
Yeah,
since
it's kind of
since the
in
last
a
one.
little bit of flux right now. Yeah.
Anybody else?
No.
Obviously, Jason didn't get in.
Sadly,
space battle.
my goal was not
Um,
completed, despite my
got-
best efforts.
I got yours, Anne. I got your message, so
Okay.
I'll record that on my sheet. Cool. All right, well, let's do some shout outs. This episode went by so fast. I love
Yeah.
role playing as shitty Yancey. Thank you for giving me that opportunity, everybody.
Fucking Yancey.
Yeah. This is why everybody loves the Nobles, because of Yancey. People like Yancey. Just wait. In like 30 or 40 episodes, you'll all be bowing before Emperor Yancey. So don't
Probably.
even.
I'm just
don't
sad
even.
those guards didn't kill him.
Me too, a little
Really
bit.
sad.
although-
This guy we brought with us was not accidentally beaten to death. Fantastic. Good stuff. Mark, why don't you start us off for the shout outs?
Cool.
Do the
Hello.
thing.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Mark. I'm the Dungeon Master for High Rollers, which we are actually finishing up this weekend on Sunday. That's at 5 p.m. UK time on twitch.tv/Yogscast. But if you'd like to catch me on other stuff, I have a podcast called Tabletop Weekly. I have a YouTube channel. I haven't been streaming as much recently, but I do also have a Twitch channel. And yeah, I will also be part of the Stream of Many Eyes, which is coming up for Wizards of the Coast on June 1st to 3rd. Tickets still available for my live show on the 3rd, which has got loads of cool people from like Critical Role, Adventure Zone, and all of that good stuff. So you can come and check that out. You can also follow me on Twitter, which is kindly linked in the overlay.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. I'm excited. Congratulations on ending a campaign. Starting a campaign is easy. Making it good is hard. Ending it well is nearly impossible. So good work.
Yeah.
You're almost
Thanks, man.
there. Congratulations.
Almost there. Then to do the next one.
Team shitposter and troublemaker, Bronze Girl. Do a shout out.
Troublemaker? What? Never. Hello, I'm that bronze girl. I will admit to the resident shit posting. But troublemaker, me? No, never.
Bullshit.
I'm
Bullshit.
a full-time variety caster on Twitch, where you can tune in to hear me talk about comic books and other various nerddoms, I guess. I'm not good at this. Hello, hi, follow me. I'm a pretty cool person. I'm not that girl your mom warned you about.
Wow.
Excellent. Thank you. Familiar face, my buddy. Thank you for enduring all of my harassment, Max. I love you.
Oh no, I
really,
enjoyed it.
I really do.
I really do enjoy
You're
it.
the best. Do the shout out, Max. Do the thing.
I am GassyMexican, variety broadcaster here on Twitch of a long time, and I also do the YouTube stuff. So if you want to check out either of them, all the links are below. I'll be casting a little bit later, so if you're interested in finding out what I'm doing and what I'm playing, go for it. You can give me that follow on Twitter. It's usually where I'll talk about it. But today was a great show. God damn, am I so glad Yancey got beat up. But we'll talk about it in the post show. So all you patrons, you get that sweet gossip about Yancey getting his shit kicked. No, it was an absolute blast. Thanks again to Adam and everybody on the cast for doing their thing so well. It's a blast, and I look forward to the next show.
Excellent. Thank you. And last but not least, the best psychic in town, AnneMunition. Do the shout out.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Anne. As you can see, all of my links are pretty much the same. I am a full-time, also variety broadcaster. I'll be streaming a little bit tonight, working on this 7,000 piece Lego Millennium Falcon. I'll do a couple hours of that tonight. I like when people laugh at just the idea of it.
Super cool.
Oh, Legos.
Yeah. So I'm gonna work on that tonight, and yeah, this felt like a good setup episode, and we'll talk about it more in the Patreon video, of course, after this. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how things turn out next week. So I'll see you guys then.
Great, thank you. Cool. Well, that'll do us for the episode. We're gonna go and record the weekly Patreon post show, which you can check out if you are a member of the RollPlay patron. So go to patreon.com/roleplay, sign up at any level. There's a faction turn coming up, so make sure that your representative gets their orders in to me. I have a couple so far, but I'll send out a reminder. The very first faction turn for Far Verona is on Monday, and if you want to watch that live, you can do so on my channel, twitch.tv/AdamKoble. But then it'll be live on YouTube, and we'll tweet it and make sure everybody gets a chance to see all of the factions at play. There's a lot going on Tootham right now, so I'm interested to see if it's going to be as big a deal as I think it is. So you can tune in for that on Monday. We're going to go do the post show. Thank you for coming, everybody. We will see you next time. Bon voyage.